Back NWA Cane Corsos. This lady is no stranger. She's been on here before. How you doing, Whitney?
I'm doing good. How's it going over there today?
I am in it to win it.
Always.
Yes,
Always.
ma'am. So I would just ask you how your day was going, and y'all busy. The
Yeah.
lifestyle of a dog woman.
Yep. That's right. Go,
Yeah.
go, go. It's
Now,
3 o'clock.
Milligan,
Haven't eaten lunch, and that's okay. We just keep moving.
we gotta keep on going. Milligan Valley K9 Academy. Where are you located again?
We're in a small town in Ohio called Minerva.
Okay.
So we are just about 25 minutes away from the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. A lot of people know where that's at. So,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
But we're out
Okay.
here in the country, out here in the middle of nowhere.
Hey man, country life, that's the
Yep.
bomb. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Same.
Yeah. We're gonna get right into it. You're a dog trainer, you're a family dog trainer. Uh, and and as we all know, it's a lot of different types, styles of dogs and jobs that they may do.
Right.
But the number one consumer of these dogs are pet owners, right?
Yep.
So I want to get into some of your ideology, your training ideology.
Mhm.
Um, the pure positive movement. There's a lot of noise online about force free or pure positive training. You mentioned before that this ideology can actually be dangerous. Can you explain how lack of boundaries or correction is bad?
Yeah. Yeah. The thing about the purely positive force-free ideology is that um, it doesn't work in a practical application, right?
Mhm.
So the idea that we can only reward behaviors, like think about that, you know? Like I get corrected for my behaviors, you get corrected for your behaviors. When I
Absolutely.
get in my truck and I'm late for an appointment and I go 40, I'm going 45 and a 25, I'm going to be held accountable because
You
I know
get
how to
correct.
read a stop
Right.
a speed limit sign. So here's where the purely positive force-free movement is where it's killing dogs is owners, they're reading and consuming all of this information online, and they're being told by the purely positive force-free side of the fence that if you correct your dog, if you correct your puppy, that you will ruin the relationship with the animal. And that's just a lie. This is
Okay.
never, it's just doesn't, it's that's just a lie. But when you are an average dog owner and you've owned, one dog, two dogs, maybe three dogs in your whole life, you're afraid. You're afraid to ruin your dog. So when your dog is jumping and they're lunging on a leash and they're jumping on your companies and they're incessantly barking and you're going to get kicked out of your apartment because your dog won't shut up and all this stuff,
Mhm.
like that, it starts to become very problematic because you've read or you've watched all these things online and you go, I don't want to ruin my dog. I don't want to ruin the relationship with my dog. And so that it becomes a very precarious situation.
So what happens when you got a dog that may be a little bit high drive or have some behavior issues and you only feed them treats? You never give them a true correction.
Yeah, you're gonna end up with a bratty dog.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. We can't successfully reward a dog out of bad behaviors.
Hmm.
So, if it's okay with you, if I can kind of break down the difference between purely positive, force-free,
Yeah.
and what that is, and then I'll break down what balanced dog training is.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I want to make clear again that I am a family pet dog trainer.
Hmm.
So we're not talking sport. We're
Hmm.
not talking competition. We're not talking about, working dogs that are being used as, tools in some capacity. I'm talking strictly family pet dog training. That is
Right.
my main wheelhouse. So purely positive, force free, and the dog trainers that teach that ideology and the owners that subscribe to it, They believe in teaching and patterning and praising and rewarding all the behaviors that they want to see. And they do that through a reward-based system, food or treat training. And they reward all the behaviors that they want to see, but they feel that it's morally wrong to discipline or correct or hold a dog accountable for non-compliance of known commands or bad behavior. On this side of the fence, which is what I do, is balanced dog training. So the dog trainers and the owners that subscribe to this ideology and this system of training, we also teach and pattern and praise and reward all the behaviors that we want to see. But we feel that it's our moral obligation to correct or hold a dog accountable for non-compliance of a known command or bad behavior. So I always tell people, it's a conversation I have with every single client of mine that calls and wants to hire, or I should say potential client of mine that wants to hire us. I have this same conversation with them and I say, which side of the fence are you on? Because you can't be both. You can't say, well, I'm purely positive and force-free, but also I believe in corrections. Nope, it is you literally as a dog owner, you come to a fork in the, or I should say a Y in the road. And you're either going this way or you're going that way.
Right. Understood. You did or used to do aggression rehab. You stepped back from it. And could you tell us why?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it I've been in dogs all my life. As far as my family grew up in it. I professionally have been in it for 12 and a half years. 8 of those 12 and a half years, I rehabbed human aggression. I no longer want a part of that myself. Here's the big reason. Owners. I love my owners. I absolutely love my owners. Develop friendships with a lot of them. As a trainer, we can rehab a dog. As a trainer, we can modify behaviors. We can never really fully eliminate it unless you got a hothead, right? You know, you're a dog guy, you know a lot of dog guys. Sometimes you get a dog and there ain't nothing wrong with that dog. He is just
strong-willed. Yeah.
Strong-willed.
Yeah.
He is stable as can be, but a lot of dog, right? A lot of dog. So might have a little bit of bratty, aggressive tendencies. That's not what I'm talking about.
Right.
Those kind of dogs, you just tell them to knock it off, right? And give them some leadership and you tell them, hey, stop doing that, start doing this. And the dog goes, okay, got it. What I'm talking about is dogs that are mentally unstable.
Right. Which you probably train some Corsos. And it's something that's in all breeds, some stability issues.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and I guess it is a liability when you say, and most good trainers say the same thing you say. We can suppress that problem, but we can't eradicate.
Yeah, I can't change your dog,
right?
Yep. Right. I can't change your dog. So, meaning I can change the behaviors, but I can't change the genetics of your dog and make them mentally stable when they came from the factory not stable.
Right.
So, when I was a young dog trainer, I thought I could help every person. I thought I could help every dog. I was very naive that way. In the beginning of my career, man, I worked a lot of dogs that were way above my pay grade, right? Because I just am like getting in there and getting it done. Professionally, I'm in this 12 and a half years. I've worked with over 3,000 dogs at this point. I've learned sometimes your ceiling is the dog and not the owner. Sometimes your ceiling is the owner and not the dog. And so learning that just because I can modify behaviors in a dog maybe doesn't mean that I should. Because a lot of dogs, once you modify those behaviors, are going to go back into a home environment where, as much as any good dog trainer is going to say, listen, your dog is not stable, you have to manage your dog, it's going to be a management case. Owners are usually not going to follow your protocol to 100%. And
Right.
I personally just don't want to be a part of any more cases like that, because of kids getting bit, neighbors getting this. The liability is just too high as far as even just my conscience.
Have you ever had, okay, being a dog trainer, I mean, you got to communicate with his family, what you really truly see in a dog. I'm sure you done had some tough topics, some tough conversations. Would you might have to recommend a behavior euthanizing a dog that way?
Yeah, I just had that last week.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just had that last week, and this is gonna blow your mind. It was a Golden Doodle.
Wow.
And
Really?
the only reason I even say breed, because I usually won't even say breed, because there's so many, it's just like, if dogs have teeth, they can bite, right? But this was a Golden Doodle, and it was so mentally unsound. It was just, for no reason, unprovoked, attacking everything in its house.
Wow. Really?
The dogs, the owners, and this particular owner, I had worked and trained her other dog. This owner is absolutely incredible.
Right.
Absolutely incredible. Maintains all the training she did with the other dog. And I just, I said, you didn't cause this at all.
Right.
At all. So these are tough conversations where we have to have with owners sometimes, because again, no training can outrun genetics or that kind of thing.
Yeah. This is another tough topic. I mean, we got a lot of high level marketing, and we all got to market our dogs, but it's a lot of high flying. They see the Malinois jumping across the
Right.
room. Then they got their pet Labrador or whatnot, and they want the same thing, kind of for their family pet, especially Instagram and things like that. You know, you can get really trapped up in there, and you want
Oh
that for
yeah.
little Billy. What can you explain the difference between a family pet and sports dogs so people understand?
Right. Yeah. So, your family pet dogs, you want to, be able to go on a nice leisurely walk through the neighborhood. You want to go out in the backyard, play fetch with the dog, load them up in the car, go pick up the kids from school, right? That
Mhm.
kind of stuff. Take them to soccer games, or go, sit out at a brewery, that kind of thing. So you just want a dog who can just kind of ebb and flow cohesively through your life. And that's a beautiful thing.
Right. A stable dog, right?
Yeah, stable dog, yep.
Okay. Mhm.
Sport dog stuff, though, that's where you see a lot of that flashy training, which is
Mhm.
cool, and I love it.
Yeah.
But, like, let's say just like a focused heel, for example. So, like, a
Mhm.
focused heel, you got that Malinois man, he's right here, and he's looking up at
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
but we don't need that in pet dog training.
Right. Mhm.
We don't need it. We don't need that kind of drive. I actually wanna, and one of the greatest dogs in my life was a Malinois. I
Mhm.
talk about him all the time. I'll talk about him till I'm dead, because he was just an incredible dog.
Mhm.
But when I was doing bite work and stuff with him, man, I got him all juiced up and did all the stuff. But then I also taught him, hey, we're just hanging out in the living room now. So you
Mhm.
got to relax, right? So, there's flashy things, like you said, we can get wrapped up in, like, we see all these Instagram accounts and whatnot, and they've got, like, all this dog in this focused heel. But really, for family pet dog, nice, relaxed heel where the dog is walking through the neighborhood, right?
Mhm.
That's what most people want, even though the other one looks so super cool.
Right. Right. Yeah, and that I love it. I love to see that type stuff, but yeah, I don't need my dogs doing that. Now, have I had trained a couple to do that? Yeah. But
Yeah.
they just, we dog folk.
Right. Well, I was just on the phone this afternoon with a good mutual friend of ours, Tony Scandi,
Mhm.
and we were talking and I said, Tony, here's the deal. I said, the dogs because I'm working with the general public day to day and training, right? These dogs and of all breeds. I said, the dogs that I pick and select for me, the dogs I like for me are not usually the dogs that I want to pick for my clients, because the work that I put into my dogs, right? And the drive that I want into my dogs and the edge that I want on my dogs. And Tony's like, oh yeah, he's like, totally agree.
Yeah.
Because your average family that has 3 kids and a Shih Tzu, and they've got soccer games on the weekend and things like that, they don't need all that drive. As sexy as it looks on Instagram and TikTok, when you see these dogs, jumping through fire and all that, it's like, do you really need all of that for a family pet? Probably not.
Yeah. And a lot of the breeders, they don't talk about it. They get those dogs back anyway.
Yeah.
They get returned all the time.
Yeah. Right.
I hear.
Right.
So I got this one for you. Give your dog the best start possible. We offer proven tools, products, and supplements backed by our real world experience and our passion for healthy dogs. Words have meaning, but sometimes people in general change words to mean negative words. Like you might call somebody ignorant and they take full offense. Like, you call me ignorant, they look at it as calling stupid, but it just really means
ignorant. Yeah, it's just uneducated. Yeah.
Right. So gatekeeping is a word that they're using in a negative connotation nowadays, right? So I got this question for you. So with, anybody can get a leash and call themselves a dog trainer, right? So
yeah,
what are the dangers of having no gatekeeping or universal licensing in this industry?
I gotcha. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword for sure. You think about you got to have a license to be a lot of different professions, right? Electrician, a dentist, lots of different professions. You have a hairdresser, you got to have a license, but you got dog trainers out here. There's no gatekeeping, meaning you do not have to go to college to become a dog trainer. It's not a thing. Yes, are there dog training schools? Of course, absolutely. But you do not have to have a certificate. So this whole like certified dog trainer, it's not a thing. Like, it doesn't mean anything, right?
Right.
So you don't have to go to dog training school to be a dog trainer. You have to go to dental school to become a dentist, right?
Right.
You have to go to electrical school to become an electrician and be a certified electrician to be able to run jobs and things like that. It's a double-edged sword because people like me, right? I grew up in dogs. I had a really unique circumstance in my life, which I'm super blessed to have had. And I spent years working with a master dog trainer until he retired, and then he helped me start NWA Cane. So I had years of being basically an apprentice with this dog trainer, which was awesome. My hands have touched thousands of dogs, right? So dogs have learned from the school of dogs, but am I a certified dog trainer? No. Here's what determines on whether somebody is going to be a successful dog trainer. The public decides.
That's true. Yeah.
So the public will say, you are a good dog trainer because you train my dog, and they write you the reviews, right? They keep bringing your dogs back. They keep referring people to you, word of mouth referrals. So the public ends up saying, hey, this is a place or a person that we think is doing a good job. If you're struggling in that regard, then the public is also saying we're not happy with the services. So it's a double-edged sword for sure, because, I think most of us like less regulations, right?
Right.
But in that, yeah, anybody can pop a sign in their front yard and make up a fancy website, and call themselves a dog trainer. And
Right. So with it being that there's no oversight when it comes to dog training, what should a family ask a dog trainer before handing over their money and their dog?
I love that. Video proof of
Okay.
their work.
Uh-huh.
If a dog trainer, I mean, it's 2026.
Mhm.
If a dog trainer cannot show you video proof of their work, now granted,
Mhm.
you don't have to have a whole YouTube channel. You don't have to, like, that's fine if you don't want to, like, do that, but you should definitely have videos that you can send to your clients with, and here's the thing, with video proof of other people's dogs.
Yeah.
My,
Not
who
their dog.
cares if my dog listens to
Yeah,
me,
yeah, true.
right?
Yeah.
A lot of people they'll have their demo dog.
Mhm.
And most of the time it's a high drive Malinois.
Mhm.
Most of the time it's, a high drive Doberman or something like that, right?
Mhm.
It looks really flashy when they're working, and it's the trainer's dog. What I would say to an owner is, who cares? Who
Right.
cares? Of course my dog's going to listen to me.
Right.
That trainer should be able to show an owner video proof, whether you either go to their page or they text it to you, of that trainer working different modules, different training modules with different dogs.
Mhm.
Happy-go-lucky puppies, 5-year-old, nervous, fearful, anxious mutt, and everything in between. You should be able to see that.
Right. So you mentioned YouTube, and there are a ton of videos on YouTube, maybe on how to train your dog or whatnot. But with you being more of a person that is client to client, what's the difference and what is the advantages of going straight to someone like you where you get hands on
Yeah.
from a trainer?
So I always tell people this, and it's funny, when I talk to people on the phone, you'd think I don't even want to, sell them a training package. But
Right.
really what it is I'm almost 13 years into this, and I really just want people to understand all their options.
Mhm.
So my message to everybody is, you went and got the puppy.
Mhm.
You went to the shelter and you adopted the dog. Nobody forced you to do that. That was a choice you made. Now it is your obligation to train the dog. Now here's your options. You can read a book. You can watch YouTube videos.
Mhm.
You can hire somebody like me. You can do private training. You could do a board and train. Someone has to train the dog.
Mhm.
So if I do it, it's going to be more expensive. It's also going to be a really good product. If an owner does it, you can do it for free. You might have some bumps along the road,
Mhm.
right? Might take you a little bit longer, right? Just because, maybe you've had 2 dogs all your life and you're like, oh, this is all brand new, and you might struggle a little bit, but you can do it. You can do
Yeah.
it.
You know why I
You
like
do
the in-person window, Whitney? Because like if I'm making handling mistakes, they telling me right then,
Yeah.
you're doing it wrong,
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the benefit. The benefit is to be able to work with a professional, and the professional can very quickly say, "Oh, hey, Joe, stand up straight. Stand up
Mhm.
straight." And you're like, "Oh, I'm not." And you're like, "No, you're not." And so what that is feeding to the dog is feeding that you're apprehensive. You're unsure. Now stand up straight. And then the dog goes, "Oh, okay, so you're sure." Just little tiny nuances, little things, where I might say, "Oh, your leash is a little too tight. Loosen up on your leash." Things that when you're doing it at home with YouTube videos, it may take you weeks to go, oh my gosh, this whole time I've been
Mhm.
struggling with this because my leash was too tight.
Right.
I wasn't standing up straight. So I don't ever deter people from training their dog for free on YouTube videos. That's why I say when people call me on the phone, I'm like, hey, you can do this for free by watching good YouTube videos,
Mhm.
or you can hire me and you're going to get a great result.
Right, right. What in every industry, there's always a misconception or something like that. That's usually general. What myth is like one of the most general myths when it comes to dog behavior that you hear from people?
What myth?
Yeah, or misconception. What people just get wrong. Like that's not true. That was tough one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just like thinking, man, because I could like go on that forever. But like,
Yeah.
everybody thinks that because they're smart or their dog is smart,
Mhm.
that the dog will be easy to train.
Right.
Here, I'll tell you what dog trainers look for in a dog that's easy to train. I could not care less how smart your dog is.
Mhm.
I care how willing your dog is.
Mm.
I've worked with some incredibly smart dogs. So like smart dogs that are not willing. The dog is literally like, I know exactly what you want me to do, what you don't want me to do. And quite frankly, they're looking around the room to find a book of matches so that they can light the place on fire because they'd rather watch the place burn to the ground before they do anything for a human. But they're trying to outsmart you every step of the way.
Mm.
Versus a dog who's less intelligent, but willing. Like, oh, okay, no problem. I can come when I'm called. Oh, there's food, right? Like, oh, no problem. I didn't know that jumping wasn't such a good thing, that I shouldn't jump. Like, my bad. They have a willing spirit. Might not be the smartest dog in the room, but they have a willing spirit. But week after week after week, I have people drop dogs off, go, well, he's really smart. And I'm like, all I care about is how willing he is. If he's willing, he'll be easy. If he's
Right.
unwilling, he might not be easy to train, even though he's
Yeah.
smart. So that
Right.
I would say that's a myth.
Right. When
Or
it comes
misconception.
to family dogs, if there was any piece of tough love advice you got to give to families, what would that be?
Oh, to narrow that down to one piece. Here's something I'm going to say that's tough.
Mhm.
If you are thinking about getting a dog and you haven't got a dog yet, starting with a good dog is paramount.
Mhm.
Start with a good dog. That means don't be impulsive. That means don't find the first puppy that you think is cute. Talk to breeders. Really think things through as far as the breed that you choose. Start with a good dog. Because the reality is, if you don't start with a good dog, again, any good dog trainer, we can't outrun the genetics. We can modify behaviors. We can train all of the things. But at the end of the day, if you have a dog who is not genetically what it should be for that breed, that's problematic. So there are a lot of people that have dogs out there now. And the tough love part that I have to say is sometimes you have the dog that you have, not the dog that you want.
It's true. Facts.
And
Well,
that doesn't mean I currently I own a dog, which is a little lap dog. He's a dachshund. Yeah, he's got a terrible attitude. I mean, he lives with the dog trainer. He's got a terrible attitude. I didn't pick a good one.
yeah.
I have the dog that I have, not the dog that I wanted. And that's
Right.
okay because I reframed my mind, and he has a great life, and just reframed how I think about him because I got him to be a lap dog, and I'm going to tell you, he ain't no lap dog. He wants to do anything but sit and be my lap dog.
Right. Right.
So sometimes you have to accept this is the dog I have, not the dog I necessarily want. There's a little bit of tough love there for people.
Yeah. Right. Right. Okay. Well, Whitney, I think we covered everything I wanted to talk about. Let's tell them one more time how to get at you.
Oh, So we have all the platforms. We got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Mhm.
You can just look me up on Facebook, Whitney Whitaker, if you want. But you just go to Milligan Valley K9 Academy on everything else. I do podcasts with Tony Scandi, Pam
Yep,
Brushcock.
yep.
That's a
Mhm.
fun thing we're doing, very Corso centric.
Yeah. Let me interrupt you.
Yeah.
This is a very big thing they doing because we had an episode before and they still ain't told me how they got Tony to do podcasts. So it's a major thing because you probably you talking about arguably the #1 Cane Corso guy in the United States.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah. No, but I like to draw attention to that because Tony has helped me as a friend and a mentor so much. Of course, learning about Corsos, but just in general, I mean, he's such a wealth of knowledge that I just so appreciate his friendship for sure. So we have that podcast. You can see me there on that show, but that's Tony's show, and we just host it for him. But the big motivator to get him on there was, Pam kept telling him what she kept hearing and what people are struggling with. And I kept telling him, hey, listen, these Corsos are showing up left and right at my training center. I'm branded with the Corso.
Yeah.
So I get Corsos from all over. I get Corsos. And
I bet you could write a book about pedigrees.
Yeah. It's so interesting. It's so crazy interesting. And so, yeah, he finally said, you girls are right. He goes, people, the public, we need to start educating the public on our breed. And so he's very glad that he's come online now.
Oh, yeah. We're glad too. A lot of people are glad to have some representation, especially him, somebody who's been in it a long time. Yeah,
absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, I love your show. I love what you're doing, and
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan for sure.
I appreciate it. It's gonna be. I got so much. I don't know. I got a new energy this year, so it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get.
I'm happy to hear that.
Oh man, it's crazy. I got so many. I already got them in the tank. I got podcasts in the tank. I hadn't even released. Gonna be some awesome shows, and then I teamed up with another podcast as well. So I'm gonna be doing stuff over there.
I love it.
It's gonna be nuts.
You really are in it to win it.
Oh Lord have mercy, it's gonna be bad. But anyway, Whitney, MVK9, come on now, y'all give them support, give them follow and all that. Thank you, Whitney. I appreciate you.
All right, my friend. Talk to you soon.
All right, we out.
Step into the realm of canine wisdom with our podcast, NWA Cane Corsos, where we interview dog men and women from around the globe. Discover their talents and insights on breeding, training, nutrition, and the rich history of dogs. Tune in to the most underrated yet influential dog podcast on social media. Your journey into the dog world starts here.